Welcome to my podcast, asking the question, if not now, when? This is Cindy Brown, and thank you for joining me today. For more information, visit me at ifnotnowwhen.best. I've been thinking about regret lately, and then the concept of destiny. It was meant to be. I found myself saying that as well. But was it? It's hard to know for sure. And then to think if you had made a different choice, what your life would have been like. Who knows that either? But what my life experience has been is sometimes when I make a decision to do something, it seems like there's a flow and circumstances present themselves to move in that direction. Coincidences happen, and it seems like I easily move in that direction. Yet other decisions I make, it seems like there's an obstacle at every turn. So is that destiny? The things that are meant to happen with ease, and when they're not, they're roadblocks. Who knows for sure? You know, when I look into the review mirror of my life, like all of us, there have been many challenging times. Who knows if those experiences were or were not destiny? But what I do know is all of them have made me who I am today, and I choose to see them as gifts. All pleasant experiences, the wonderful people I've met, places I've visited, my family, are all blessings. But I do believe the moments of struggle, grief, sorrow, disappointment have given me self-confidence, compassion, appreciation, and knowing deep in my soul that no matter what, everything's going to be okay. And that true contentment is an internal, not external experience. For 9 years, I worked in the timeshare division of my company. It was a great experience. During the 9th year, they brought in 2 directors to oversee our division. I quickly learned their moral values didn't match the moral values of our company. And I was quickly asked to do some things that were immoral and not in the customer's interest. That was a defining moment for me where I had to stick my heels in the sand and say, no, I'm not going to do that. And knowing that I'd probably lose my job. It was nerve-wracking. And it was one of those, sit up at 4 a.m. with a panic attack, not knowing if I was going to have a job that next week. Having to provide for my family and my 2 young boys, the notion of losing my job shook me to my core. By the way, as a side note, once it was discovered what was happening with the 2 new directors, they were fired immediately. But anyway, that experience allowed me to find that strength within to do what I knew was right, regardless of outcome. Looking back at that experience, I can now say thank God it happened, because after that, and what I call the synchronicity of life happened. I was in a charity walk and met someone in my company who needed a director of sales and marketing in the lodging division, and I was offered the position. That job led me to my current job, which has brought me such joy. Those were hard times, but again, given me the strength, courage, and wisdom that has helped me define who I am today. I have a passion for biology and nutrition. I like to read about cellular biology like others enjoy a romance novel. I know that sounds crazy, but my other passion is dance, yet I pursued a career in the hospitality industry. Go figure. But rewinding time, would I have had a different life or a better life if I had pursued my passion for biology and nutrition or even dance? Who knows what that life would have been? But what I do know is that the path I did take has provided a richness in my life, experiencing things I would have never experienced otherwise, and interacting with such amazing people, both customers and my teammates. So no, I don't regret not pursuing my passion for biology, nutrition, and dance. Another time I had wondered if I had made the right choice in life when I went through my divorce. I thought I made a mistake marrying the person I married, thinking about what my life would have been if I had married someone else. Who knows what that journey would have been? But what I do know is this is my journey. The fact that my two sons, who I love with all my heart and have shown me how powerful love can be, I can't imagine life without them, is the reason there is no regret for marrying the man I did. Also, it's given me great strength, which I may not have had otherwise. My personality is really to please others, and I am super conflict adverse. I just like to leave whenever there's any kind of conflict. And those can be good qualities, but it's very easy to lose yourself and life can become off balance. So that whole process gave me strength and confidence in myself. It forced me to learn techniques to calm my nerves. It made me fearless. It taught me to be true to myself. Through adversity comes strength, and that's what happened to me. So did I marry the right person? I think so. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I used to replay what I call movies in my mind. When something bad happened, I would replay that scenario like a movie over and over and over in detail with everything that happened. And each time I played that movie in my mind, my body reacted because I would feel that emotion over and over again. Experiencing that emotion multiple times anchored the negative emotions so deep in my soul that it was very hard to uproot that feeling. It took a lot of work. But, actually, first of all, to simply realize what I was doing, but then a couple years of work for me to be free from the grasp of negativity. It was like a poison in my body. One of the things I did to stop the movies in my mind was every time a movie would start, I would interrupt that thought with, I have now, and now is good. It was almost like a mantra. And with that, I would think the past is gone and who knows what's going to happen later. But in this moment, it's good. I would make sure I felt that sense of peace grabbing onto the moment. The second thing I did, and still do, is the ritual of morning affirmations. This has really allowed those positive thoughts to become emotions. Those emotions filled my consciousness and moved me from that ball of negativity in my soul to one of release and peace. It has paved the way for healing, for a new consciousness and a new way of living my life. When I played those movies in my mind, I was giving power away, allowing those thoughts to control my emotions that triggered physical reaction. All the cells in our body always respond to every thought we think. Form follows consciousness. Thoughts are things, and eventually my body responded with lymphoma. My oncologist helped me back to health, and now it's my responsibility to stay that way. She did her job, and now I need to do mine. Again, no regret because it's forced me to learn and grow by figuring out how to do my job. One of the things I learned was forgiveness, so I'm not stuck in the past and freeing myself. That was a powerful lesson. I have 9 affirmations I read and internalize daily on forgiveness. Through that adversity, I'm strong, and all the different minor things that happen in life, I don't internalize. I think once faced with a life-threatening disease, life looks different. Priorities change, and the level of appreciation for life increases exponentially. As scary as that was, I also think it was a gift. I'll share these helpful affirmations I've used for years from Louise Hay in the show notes. When I was on a mission to heal myself mentally and physically, I remember the day I sat at Barnes & Noble with a cup of coffee and wrote all the affirmations down in my notebook. That notebook has been with me ever since, and reading those affirmations is part of my morning routine. I have an innate belief that it's all going to be okay. And it's not just lip service. In my soul, I know that everything will be fine. That knowing is empowering. A book I just finished listening to by Vishen Lakhani called The Code of the Extraordinary Mind describes a new word and a concept of being unfuckwithable. I kind of hope my boys don't listen to this episode because I've taught them not to use that word around me, to teaching them respect. But in any case, that's the word. And what it means is nothing can mess with me because I will not take on the negative, the anger, or hate of others. I won't own that by holding grudges. I let it all go. I forgot which martial arts form it is, but it's where you use the energy of your opponent as a defense. An example is if your opponent is moving toward you, ready to attack, step aside and let that energy keep going instead of blocking it and taking it in and trying to push it away. That's how I see this as well. I let that energy go. The other concept that has helped me is knowing that nothing has power within itself to create stress. We are what create the stress. It's how we react to stimulus or to the environment or to what's happening that creates the stress. Therefore, if my perception of what's happening is knowing it's going to be a life lesson or knowing it's going to be okay, and knowing that innately, then I'm not giving the negative situation power and it makes me unfuckwithable. Living without regret or adversity is a gift. Living a life of the woulda, coulda, shouldas doesn't serve me. Instead, understanding that my life is what it is. You know, there's lessons in every experience, whether it's the thought, everything happens for a reason, or maybe it doesn't. But one thing's for sure, it happened, and it's now part of our life experience. The good news is, as Lisa Nichols says, every day we can hit the reset button. Love that. The person that was is no more. So regretting the past as we evolve in our lives and we become a different person, as we grow and learn and have all these experiences, being at peace with the decisions we've made in the past is liberating. I share my experiences, hoping it'll be helpful and possibly make a difference in someone's life, or at least provide tools to interpret the negative thought processes when we face challenges to more empowering thoughts. In life's journey, we have more that unites us than separates us. And the basic desires in this journey we call life are similar. So regardless of the circumstances, we tend to share many of the same desired outcomes. If there's anybody out there that's living a life of regret or wishing they had done something different or made a different choice or still running those movies in your mind, I want you to know that for me, not regretting what's happened or not regretting the decisions I've made and understanding they have all served a purpose for greater good has truly given me a freedom from regret to a feeling of joy and contentment. I've also been able to feel a sense of peace, knowing that everything that's happened to me in my life thus far, good and bad, has made me who I am, and I'm thankful. Whether it's destiny or not, who knows? What I do know, looking at life and looking at all of the experiences, knowing we are who we are from those experiences, we can choose to interpret them in a way that empowers us instead of living a life of regret. I'm so grateful for you joining me today and wishing you peace, love, joy, and good health. Bye for now.